Welcome to all you beautiful princesses. I am Nina Black and I am here with a special message. This is a public service announcement. So, welcome. Okay, that was a bit dramatic. I'm Nina Black. Welcome to my video series called Up Your Seduction Game. I'm so excited about this. First, some background. I run a blog called Goddess Lingerie. It's on Facebook, it's on Instagram. So if you already follow me, yay, welcome. Nice to see you on this side. If you haven't yet, do make sure that you pop over to Goddess Lingerie on Facebook, like that, and follow me on Instagram. It's at Nina Black 421. Okay. Now that we've got the formalities out the way, so my passion is lingerie, just a little background on me. I love lingerie. I've been blogging about lingerie for about 3 years, just over 3 years. And it's just a passion that has grown and grown and grown on me. So I share my love of lingerie with beautiful princesses such as yourself on social media, and I've decided to start making some videos because I've had a lot of women actually come to me and say, okay, they understand lingerie, maybe, things like what suits their body and all of that. That's great. But, there's more to lingerie than just wearing lingerie, right? It's about seduction. It's about being a seductress, and that's really got me thinking. And just a little side note, last year 2019 was also a very big year for me in terms of change. I'll let you guys in a little bit, just a little bit. I basically became I was basically in a relationship for a long time before 2019, and then in 2019 I was basically single for the first time in a while. Okay, so there were a lot of bumps and bruises, but also a lot of great lessons. And I've come out and I look back and I think, oh my goodness, like I'm so glad I took that journey, as hard as it was, because it not only helped me move forward with my life, but it's also helped me to kind of put a lot of things into perspective. And that's something that I want to share with you. So I went through a makeover phase where I completely changed my look, and it didn't happen overnight. It took months and months of lots of challenging work. But eventually we got here, and it has changed not only my social life, not only my personal life, it's changed my dating life. And it's something that I felt tied in so well with my passion of lingerie, because, like I said, lingerie goes beyond just what you put on physically. It's also the personality that you put on, and which is what this video series is all about. So we're here to up the seduction game. I want to up your seduction game. I'm upping my seduction game. I haven't reached the level where I want to reach yet, but I'm way further than I was, a year ago. So this is the first video of that series. So I just thought I'd just start with that overall kind of picture, so that excuse me, so that you kind of understand where I'm coming from. You see if anything relates to you, and you also understand how it links to our lingerie passion. I'll feature a lot of lingerie on these videos as well, because how are you going to seduce without lingerie? It's a very big part of the seduction game. But another big part of the seduction game, the biggest part of the seduction game, is you and your A game. What is your A game, and bringing your A game? Okay, enough talk. Let's have some tea, shall we? So good. And then let's jump straight into it. Okay, so one of the things that you're going to have to get used to with your seduction is always evolving. So whether you're single, whether you're in a long-term relationship, whether you're married, whatever your situation is, you always have to keep yourself fresh and new, okay? Which means you need to change your look quite often and be comfortable in doing that. So you don't hold on to one look forever. You keep it fresh, you keep it moving, okay? So even people that are married, the biggest advice or the biggest thing we'll hear them say is always keep it fresh, keep it spicy, keep it new, change it up. Don't get used to one thing. Don't get your partner used to one thing. Switch it up. That's the same when you're single, because when you're single, you're either attracting or repelling potential partners, and sometimes a certain look may not do it for you, even though you may like it, which is weird, but it's true. And then a certain look might actually be the one that's really doing it for you, even though you're probably a bit apprehensive about it. So always switch it up, always switch it up. Don't get comfortable in one look. Always switch it up, always switch it up. And that's how you keep leveling up, basically. Okay, so step number 1 in upping your seduction game is you have to have a goal. What is your goal? Why are you getting into the groove, so to speak? What is your goal? When you meet somebody, what is your goal with that person or that potential? Of course, there's a whole conversation about standards and all of that kind of stuff. We're not really going to get into that here. But what you want to define is, are you looking to just date? So in other words, you're not really looking for a commitment right now. You're just looking to just have fun, socialize, expand your social circle, go to nice places with nice people, meet nice people, and all that kind of stuff. Is that really like the kind of space you're in? Because that's a perfectly good space. If you're single or recently broken up, that's probably the kind of space that you're in, where you just want to socialize. There's nobody in particular that that you've got in your life. So you kind of, are putting yourself out there, so to speak. Okay, so if that's your goal, then you need to define it. Do you want to be going out on dates? How often do you want to be going out on dates? Ideally, what kind of places and things like that, so that you basically have something to work towards. There's no point in making yourself over and leveling up and you don't really have a definite goal, okay? Because when you start attracting people, you won't be able to discern whether these people fit into your ideal picture or not. Are they just temporarily here, which is fine, or are they showing signs of long-term, which is number 2. The other side of it is a lot of people will get into the selection game for long-term purposes, which always starts with dating anyway. So that's kind of the same group, okay? So whether you're just dating for the sake of dating or dating for the sake of finding a long-term partner, you still have to go through pretty much the same process, okay? So some people have someone in their life. Maybe there's no commitment necessarily. Maybe it's like a friends with benefit kind of relationship, and you basically probably want to focus on either turning that into a relationship, maybe, or you just enjoying the way that it is, but you just want to, bring some extra spice into it. That's also okay. So if that's your end game for your seduction game, then that's what you focus on, okay? And of course, lots of people want to spice up their marriage. So if you're married, you have your long-term partner, and you guys are living together and the whole situation and you just want to spice things up, then obviously your approach is going to be different from somebody who, for example, is dating. You understand where I'm going with this? So it's important to have your definite goal. Have your definite goal. It's about recognizing where you are. So if you're single, like me, you're recognizing, okay, I'm single. Therefore, the natural next step is to socialize. It's not going to be to spice up a marriage. I'm not married. Okay, so it may sound pretty simple, but it's a good place to start because then it just kind of helps you to understand, okay, I got this. Excuse me, my lingerie is trying to climb out. Okay, so that's step number 1. Define your end game in upping your seduction game. Are you upping it for yourself to attract better dates? Are you upping it for your friend with benefits? Or are you upping it for your long-term relationship or hobby to spice things up in the bedroom or in your life in general? Excuse me. This will also help you to understand that seduction is not something that just happens in the bedroom. Okay, seduction is something that happens pretty much anywhere and everywhere. Okay, because it's a part of your character. Okay, so you're not just seducing someone that you're putting lingerie on for right now. You know, by the time you get there, there's also other seduction steps that you've taken, and that's the part that we're going to take together in this series. So when you look at seduction as a lifestyle or a part of your lifestyle and not just something that you do when you're about to get naughty, you know, then you see it differently, then you approach it differently. Okay, so that's step number 1. Step number 2 is always look your best. Now, this was very hard for me to do last year. It was one of the hardest things I had to do. And I mean, it sounds really frivolous, look your best. But it's actually difficult because now you actually have to consciously, and I'm really not this type of person. I've never been this type of person, let me say that. But now you have to consciously think, what colors look good on my skin? Not what colors do I like. What looks good on my skin? What hair looks good on me? You know, people that look like me, what looks good on them? Let me try that and see what it looks like on me. And being consistent with that. Always look your best. Always look your best. That was a big challenge for me. And then the other challenge would be trying something, looking really good if I'm going on a date or if I'm going to work and I'm feeling myself that day, or, you know, going out with the girls or whatever. Okay, putting effort then and looking good and doing, you know, whatever for whatever special occasion, and then the next day just like, oh well, whatever, and not having that consistency, you know. So that was a big thing for me as well. When I started being more consistent, it started changing the way I saw myself. It started changing the way people saw me. People just associate women who take care of themselves with a certain class. And whether we like it or not, that's really the world that we live in. When you look after yourself and you're always well put together and you always look classy, so go on Pinterest and search classy outfits, classy hairdos, classy nails, classy makeup, classy shoes, bags, all of that kind of classy tips for women. People associate you with a certain class, whether we like it or not. Okay. And when you put effort and you put yourself together and you consistently look good, whether you're going to the shop to buy bread, or whether you're going to the post office, or whether you're going to work, or whether you're going to fill petrol up in your car, wherever you're going, if you're leaving your house, leaving your home, make sure you look good. Because people look at you, you look like you've put effort into yourself. That means you're important. You might be a business owner, you might be a CEO, you might be married to somebody really, you know, up there. This is what people are thinking. But when you don't really take care of yourself, then people don't really take you seriously either, because you could just be just another worker just like them. You're obviously not that important, and that's why you don't get that good service as when you look good. And that's a fact. And we can argue about it and debate about it all we want. It is what it is. And it works the same with seduction. You have to look good. If you're married, this is especially important. Always look your best, because it just keeps everything fresh. A little bit of it is to make your partner a little bit more possessive, because he needs to think, if you're looking this good every day and you're going to work, or you're going out with your friends, or you're just going to go buy bread, he knows you're going to be attracting that kind of attention. So he's going to make extra sure that he's taking extra care of what he knows he has at home. But when you let yourself go, he knows no one's really going to be looking at you when you go to the shop. Even if they do, it's not really that caliber of men that will intimidate him anyway. So, it's not a big deal. But if you really take care of yourself, he's thinking, okay, wait, is there someone new at her office? What's going on? And he's going to be taking extra care to check you out. And every little thing that you do, he's going to be so drawn into you, because he's so curious to know what's going on. And he loves it, and you look beautiful. And if he thinks, wow, you're doing all of this for me, and you're doing it for yourself, okay, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's actually the best approach. And then he just feels so lucky. I have somebody at home who looks as good as all these women that I see out here all the time. I have my own. And it's the same when you're attracting a potential partner, which is what seduction is when you're dating. It's mostly about attracting a potential partner, and a good quality potential partner. And sometimes you'll attract somebody in your office. Sometimes you'll attract somebody down the road. You'll attract somebody that you've never met before. You never really know. That's why you always have to look good. Sometimes you just went to go pick up some washing powder at the store, and you bump into somebody, and it turns into, hey, would you like to go out for some sushi sometime? Because you look like you could eat some sushi. Because you look good. Because you always look good. Hey, I've seen you around. Oh, you never know. Okay, so when you're single, seduction is all the time. I would say, as a woman, just turn it on all the time. If you're married, it's going to spice up what you already have. If you're single, it's going to bring you, the type of partner that you want. So always keep it spicy. Always have your seduction game on. Always. Always dress like you're going to meet that person. Always. Always. Even when you've met them. Still dress up like, not that you're looking for someone else, but this one needs to stay. That was just a little naughty. Okay. And then point number 3 is be ruthless. When you start taking yourself and your looks seriously, and you start putting yourself first, when you start waking up a little bit early just to add that extra va-va-voom, when you start wearing heels every day and being more, feminine and beautiful and attractive, you're going to spark up some negative energy from other people. And it may be people close to you, it may be your friends, it may be your family, maybe your sisters, your cousins, your parents. It could be anybody, really. People might judge you because, lots of people feel uncomfortable around somebody who's really taking time to look good. And that's just how it is. Even when you go out, the service you get, you might get served by somebody who doesn't appreciate how beautiful you look, who might feel threatened by it. Beware also at work. Don't overdo it. Just keep it nice and simple, because you don't want your managers to feel threatened by you, even if it doesn't threaten their position in the job. If they think that there's something that you're better at that they're not, it might threaten them a little bit. And it's a proven fact that beautiful, attractive women get promotions quicker than women who aren't. It's not my rule. It's a proven fact. Lots of people know this. That's why you always need to look your best, because, maybe you'll be chosen for that promotion because, the boss wants to show you off, or whatever the case might be. I don't know. But, there's so many perks. I could sit here and go on and on and on about the perks. But you have to be ruthless. Even when people start talking behind your back, even when people stop talking to you because they feel uncomfortable around you, even when people say outright, you always look too good. Like some of your friends are not going to want to go out with you anymore because now they have to keep up with your looks instead of the other way around, or both of you, or all of you not really putting much effort. You might get a lot of backlash from your friends. You might get some backlash in your relationship. So I would advise you to just do it in a not in a subtle way. I mean, don't overdo it, don't just come back with like, but also let your partner in on, I'm just thinking, if he starts asking, you don't have to say it before you do it. But if you see he's feeling a little bit uncomfortable and he's asking you, hey, like, what's the deal? Like, what's going on? Oh, I was just thinking I want to spice things up for us a little bit. What do you think? Do you like this? Do you like this? Make him feel like it's also for him. So that, because a lot of women, when they're getting ready to leave a relationship, the first thing they do is look really good. And then they're out the door. So he might be a little bit nervous that you're getting ready to leave out the door. So just reassure him. But you don't have to say it, and you don't have to kind of get his permission. That's what I'm trying to say. If you see that he feels, or if he expresses that he feels a little bit confused about what's going on, let him in on it. Otherwise, he might just be enjoying the spontaneity of it and not complaining. Men are different. Relationships are different. Okay. So that is part 1 of upping your seduction game. And this has really changed my dating life completely, from a miserable, recently single woman to, oh my goodness, I'm having so much fun, all within a year, and totally changed my look, changed my outlook on myself, and changed the way people see me as a result. And I'm going to be sharing these with you because this year I'm taking it to the next level, and I want you guys to be here with me. So if you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up in the comments below, and also just share with me, what are your New Year's resolutions for yourself? Do they include upping your looks, leveling up your looks? What are your top 2 or 3 goals that you want to achieve in 2020? Happy New Year, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!